over there sick yesterday to get it. I want the nose ring.
Right.
You don't have to defend your work. I'm just telling you it didn't work for me.
Yes,
I didn't
ma'am.
have my glasses on in the bed last night.
Yeah.
And I sleep on my back. I have to sleep on my back.
Right. So I mean, what you're saying is that like, because I don't, normally in a situation where somebody requests a refund, if it's something that we did, I would 100% refund them their money. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not that type of person. I'm not desperate for money. I'm not in a financial situation where I can't afford to give somebody a refund, especially when it's my fault. I do stand behind my work 100%. But what you just told me was that it was irritating you last night, which is normal. You just got a piercing. And that you lifted your glasses and it came halfway out.
No, what I told you was that it was bothering me last night. I didn't touch it. I didn't move around in the bed because I can only sleep on my back. It was hurting me last night. Then I get up and put my glasses on, and then it slid down just a smidge. My glasses are little small round glasses. Slid down, my everyday glasses, just a smidge. And then I just, pulled them up slightly. Just pulled them up. And then I said, wait a minute, this don't feel right. And I went back and looked in the mirror, and the thing was out my nose, hanging out my nose.
Right.
That's what I said.
Okay. So basically you're telling me, at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do for you, just to, make your life easier. You could come by and you could get a 100% refund. Just to me, this is just me being nice and saying, you had a hard time. Here's your money back. But from my professional standpoint, I am not responsible for your piercing when you leave the shop. I'm not responsible for your glasses hitting it. I'm not responsible for towels snatching it out. We talked about all these things before you left, and what could happen with that. So I did my due diligence.
No, we did not.
I have it on video. I could play. I'm gonna give you a refund regardless.
Okay.
But I would gladly pull.
You sure did play it for me because we did not. And even if we did, before I came in, I told you I was not feeling well, and you saw that I wasn't feeling well.
I did not see that you were not feeling.
You even asked, you all right? You okay?
Yeah, I did.
And then go ahead.
Yeah, when you first walked in the door, chances are I asked you how you were doing. I also have that on video. We have 24-hour video surveillance, and I could play back the audio for you to where I asked you how you were doing. I don't recall you telling me that you weren't feeling well or anything.
I'm pretty sure I gave you an honest answer.
Well, I mean, if you did,
on the phone or in person.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that would have to do with getting a piercing.
When I left.
Yes, ma'am. I'm not sure what that would have to do with getting a piercing though, because you, even if you weren't feeling well, you are an adult and you did come in for those services. So I'm not really sure what that has to do with.
Here's what it has to do with it. If you knew that I was not of sound mind and you were giving me verbal instructions, then how could you expect me to retain the information when I'm not of sound mind because I'm sick? What should have happened was when you realized I wasn't feeling well, you should have given me what you verbally spoke to me in writing. And say, okay, now make sure you read this, Miss Williams, because I know you're not feeling well. We already covered all of this, but make sure you read it so you'll know blah, blah, blah. But I ain't do nothing to the nose ring. I was very careful because I very badly want the nose ring.
Right.
Very badly.
Okay. And I understand that.
Go ahead.
Yes, man. Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off, but we kind of going in circles here. Like I said, I'm gonna give you a refund just because I'm not that type of business person. Like normally in this case I wouldn't, but because I just want to be done with the situation, and it's kind of unreasonable what you're asking. I am going to give you a refund, and I will have that video pulled up for you if necessary. and let you see that when you came in, I asked you how you were doing. You were not under the influence of alcohol or drugs based on my assertions. So that's all I'm responsible for. I'm not responsible to make sure.
I wasn't feeling well.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. I'm not
About
responsible.
alcohol.
Yeah, as a professional piercer, I'm not responsible for your mental state when you come in unless you're under the influence of alcohol or drugs, or you are mentally incapable of making a decision on your own. And
I
you
was
need.
under the influence of drugs. I was not under the influence of alcohol. I was under the influence of drugs.
Yeah, well, you never made that clear to me, and you didn't appear to be under the influence of anything.
You know what? Okay, what time do you want me to be there? Because now this is upsetting me. I was fine when I got on the phone, and I don't need to get upset.
Well, yeah, that was it. I'm gonna give you a refund. I'm gonna give you what you're asking for anyway, because I don't let things like this ruin my day, and I do stand behind my work, which I know I definitely did some good work on you. I do more nose piercings than anything.
Look, this the second ring that came out my nose, and it wasn't my fault. So you keep talking about you standing behind your work, and my son ring came out of his nose.
Did I do your son's piercing?
Earring, when you pierced his ears.
Yeah.
You pierced my baby boy ears.
Mm-hmm.
His ears closed up twice. I had to reopen them. So while you standing behind your work and I'm trying to be respectful to you, I'm telling you it was not my fault, like it was not my son's fault or my older son's fault. The stuff's just falling out and closing up.
Why you never contacted me at any point in time and told me
about your work?
Yeah, you never.
Because I did it myself. I reopened his hole myself.
Right.
I didn't need you to do it. I did it.
Okay, and I understand that if you feel like I did a bad job, if you feel like I did a bad job in the past, why would you continue to patronize my
Because the work that you did, you need just like if you go to a car place to get your oil change, and then they do something to the oil pin or whatever.
Yeah.
You're not gonna go to another place and pay a whole lot more money to fix their error. You're gonna go back to them and make them do it or refund your money.
Yeah,
That is what I'm doing now.
Well, what I'm saying is, I told you I'm giving you a refund for this. What I'm saying is, if I did bad work in the past for you and your son.
You standing behind your work. You keep saying you're standing behind your work, and that's pissing me off because all of us have lost our piercing. All of us.
And
both of my sons and myself.
How long after you got it done did you lose it? I'm not responsible for a week down the road. I'm not.
My baby boy. You told us to wait 8 weeks.
Yep.
Before we removed the piercing that you put in.
Yes, ma'am.
My baby boy waited 9 weeks, because he had to anyway, because he was going on a trip with his grandmother. Before he did that, before he went on his trip, on the 5th week, his earring came out, and he was bleeding, and I had to help him put. I said, "Did you take the earring out your ear? What happened?" He said, "No, ma'am, it just fell out, and I can't find the hole." Then after 8 weeks, 9 weeks, the very thing still happened. His hole was still closing. I don't know if you're using too small of earrings or whatever, or what you're doing, but it's coming out, and it bled, and I had to treat it.
Okay. Yeah, I want to. I definitely want to address your.
When it fell out my oldest son nose, he just said, "You know what? It kept falling out." He said, "You know what, Mama? I ain't even gonna worry about it no more." I said, "You sure?" And he said, "Yeah." And so we didn't even bother with him no more. He don't even got no degree in his nose no more.
Right, and I understand. I want to address your concerns with that. I definitely want to address your concerns with everything that I did and let you know that I do things the standard professional way when it comes to ear piercings. And 5 weeks down the road, I am not. If your earring stayed in for 5 weeks, then something caused it to fall out.
Hear me say, after 8 weeks, 9 weeks, his whole clothes still.
I told you it would not be healed in that amount of time. Yes, ma'am. I told you it would not be healed in that amount of time.
After 9 weeks, it was closing and bleeding.
Yes, ma'am. It will not be healed in that amount of time. I specifically told you that.
It was not healed.
I said that. It will not be healed that fast. I told you this.
You told me that these boys can take some things out there because I
I said they could change them after 8 to 12 weeks. It will not be fully healed.
That's what they were doing. That's what they were doing.
Right. You changing and being healed are two different things.
Okay, listen. When the baby boy took his earring out, first of all, he fell out first. And then I had to put it back in.
Right.
Then, when he took it out to put in a more fashionable earring, he couldn't find the hole.
Mm-hmm.
The hole, he took the earring out and was putting another earring in and couldn't find the hole. And so he said, Ma, I think my hole closed. I said, what? I thought you just had the other earring in your ear. He said, I did. I took it out to put this one in and I can't find the hole. I said, okay, come on, let me help you. And it took, he was late for school that morning. It took us 30 minutes to get that earring in his ear.
Right.
And then it crushed it. And it scared me because I thought he was going to kill her because it bled and it crushed it.
Right. I can see you have a very good memory, ma'am. And also doing that. Yeah, okay, I understand it. But what I'm saying is, I just hear me out here. Hear me out. When they got those ear piercings, I specifically went over everything and I said you could change them in 8 to 12 weeks. There is no specific time for healing, but they are still changeable in about 8 to 12 weeks in most cases. And also, I made it clear that if one of them fell out and you contacted me the same day, that I would put it back in for free for you. Now, you said 5 weeks later one fell out, and I didn't get any notification that you were having any issues out of them.
But you know what? Even if you did tell me that, those problems are solved. I'm not even arguing with them. But what I'm arguing with you about right now is you keep on saying you're standing behind your work.
100%.
And I'm telling you, you may not be as good as you think you are.
Yeah, basically what you're telling me is I'm unlimitedly responsible for your problems weeks down the line, days down the line, and while you're in your home, you're telling me it's my responsibility to make sure your ring doesn't fall out. That's what you're telling me. You're not telling me that I'm not as good as I think I am.
Your methodology does not work with every single customer. Maybe you should have, when I told you that this decibel ring came out, which is hard for this to do, it came out. I did not take it out for surgery. I told them that I was not going to take it out, and they said fine. And so it fell out. I did. Maybe you should have used a earring, a piercing with a hook on it or something.
There is an L shape, ma'am. I
have it in stock because every customer is not the same.
They are not. That's why I curve every ring. I curve every ring individually to fit that specific person's nose. Every customer is not the same. That's exactly why my rings come straight. They do not come pre-bent. They come long and curvable so that I could curve them myself. Like I said before, I'm going to give you a full refund, and I still 100% stand behind my work, and I am not responsible for your ring coming out because you snatched it out with your glasses, just like you admitted earlier. I am not responsible for that.
I did not get, sir, you have a problem with comprehension. I did not say I snatched it out with my glasses. What I said was this ring is too small to be snatched by this thick frame. It cannot even get caught on it because it's too thick.
Yes, but you just told you also told me that it was in your nose, then you moved your glasses some kind of way and it was out. So I can only make the assertion. I can.
Listen, if you're gonna, I slid my glasses up, and I saw that my nose ring had come out. I didn't realize it until I slid my glasses up.
Right.
My glasses were hiding the work that you did or did not do. I didn't see it. I didn't see that it was out my nose. It was. I said, "Oh, my son is here. My eldest son is here with me because I was sick yesterday." Okay. I said, "Oh, Jaleel, the ring that came out my nose. I can't push it back in. It was held halfway out. I was trying to push back in. I can't get it. It hurts bad. It hurts bad. He said, well, maybe you just need to pull it out. I said, no, I ain't gonna pull it out. I'm gonna leave it right there. Maybe, later on I can push it back in.
Right.
But it fell out itself. I didn't even touch it. I said, well, Lily done fell out.
Yeah. Well, when we first got on the phone, I offered to put it back in there for free for you. I have also offered to give you a full and complete refund, even though I am not, and I repeat, I am not responsible once you leave that shop for your ring coming out on its own. But I do tell people, just like I told you all those weeks ago, that if it comes out and you contact me that same day, I will put it back in for free. And I just told you that when we got on the phone. Yet you're still trying to make it seem like I'm unprofessional and that I didn't do things the professional way.
What I'm saying is you kept on saying you stand behind your
And
word.
I still stand behind my work. I hate to cut you off, but I still stand behind my work.
In this family. I know what happened in this family. I don't know what happened with your other customers. Maybe they fell out and said, you know what, ain't this about to be, and then just left it alone.
All they had to do was give me a call.
Just like I did with my boys, I didn't contact you. My eldest son made his decision to leave his nose ring out. My baby boy said, no, mama, can you put it back in? It was before a school day, a school morning.
Right.
And I said, okay, baby, I got you. And we worked it and you got back in. I'm telling you, when I called, I said, the reason why I went to your shop is because I really wanted the nose ring. I didn't know the nose ring would be that small, but I still really wanted the nose ring because there's a look I'm going for. There's a business that I'm starting. There's a look that I need, and so I needed it. That's why I went to your shop, and because the prior hole with the septum I thought it had closed, but the ring had fallen out while I was in the hospital.
Yeah.
Again, I have to sleep on my back. I have to. I can't be no other way. I woke up and the thing was gone. Okay? And I said, now, what I leave? I looked for it and I found it. And I couldn't do no with it because it was on the floor, hospital floor. So I threw it away. And I'm just now getting to the place where my health was a little bit better to go ahead and get it done before an engagement that I have on the 12th. Okay? So, none of this is your business, but I'm telling you how strategically I plan to be there to get this nose ring. I wanted the nose ring. I still want the nose ring. So it's not about me trying to get over, because I want the nose ring. I need you to understand that. I don't just want a refund. That is not the purpose of this call. Okay?
So, are you saying that you want a refund and you want me to put it back in?
No.
Okay.
Because I know you wouldn't do anything like that. I know that. That is not what I'm asking.
Okay,
I'm asking
yeah.
for either or.
Well, I already told you before.
If it's gonna be that same small one, then I'd rather not. I'll just go find somebody that can do it a little bigger, something that I can handle, or that can do it where they can put a clip on the end, on the inside, that'll secure it in place.
Right. I mean, if
And it won't come.
listen, even if I had to put in a lip ring, technically it's not a lip ring. It's a ring that can go in anything you put it in. If I had to put one of those in that twist on, there's still a possibility that it could come loose just from walking around and everything else, and it could come out. There is no jewelry you could put in your nose that's going to stay in there 100% of the time while you move around and do everything and whatever you do during your sleep. I don't know. I can't quote you on that. I'm not responsible for when you're asleep or at home doing anything. Besides, what I'm responsible for is to make sure that I give you the best placement, which I marked your piercing before I did it. Make sure you were happy with it. I put a ring in there that's appropriately sized for your nose so that it could swell and go down and everything, so that you don't have problems out of that during the healing process and that it heals properly. But I am not, under any circumstance, responsible when your ring falls out. Now, I take responsibility when it does, just like I did when you got on this phone and you told me it came out. I offered to put it back in there for free when I got to work. Well, yet we've been on the phone almost 30 minutes repeating the same thing over and over and over because you want to belittle and diminish my work because you feel like I'm responsible because your nose ring fell out. That's not how this is gonna go. I'm never gonna admit to that.
My baby boy, he said, Mama, some conversations need to be done in person, and this is one of them.
It's definitely not. When you come into the shop, I want to refund you your money in the payment method that you paid with. I'm gonna refund it the same way you paid it to me. Which I gotta look and see in my system how it was. And if you want me to pull up that video when you can, yeah, I actually will refund it to you the same way. And if you paid on Cash App, you actually don't even have to come in to receive that refund. I could just send it to you.
I did pay with Cash App.
Okay. When I get to my studio, I will pull it up. I will send you that refund. And if you want me to pull the video from my security cameras and show you everything that happened, because I was not aware that you were under the influence of drugs. If you would have told me that, I would have turned you around.
I was sick. What do people do when they're sick?
They don't. Everybody doesn't take drugs when they're sick, ma'am. I don't take drugs when I'm sick. So I don't know what drugs you were under the influence of.
You don't have two autoimmune diseases and pancreatic problems that have you in the hospital every month. You don't do that.
I don't, and I understand you may have those problems, but you cannot make me responsible for those problems. Also, if you knew you were under the influence of drugs, you should not have been driving.
I had a boss that whenever he would correct us, and sometimes he would be wrong, but I'm my own boss now, but whenever he corrected us, he would be wrong sometimes.
I can be wrong. I 100% can be wrong. Yes, ma'am.
And then once we proved it to him, and I'm not trying to prove it to you that you were wrong, but once we proved it to him, then we were being insubordinate, and our personalities were terrible, and some of us got fired behind it.
Man, I will personally drive you to any other piercing shop.
I think you're being offended by me saying maybe your work is not as good as you think it is, because you kept saying that instead of being empathetic towards the situation. And it made me have to tell you exactly what happened in my household. I wasn't gonna ever let you know, because I like to support Black-owned businesses.
Right.
If you go to my social media, that's what you will see. I pay for stuff. I pay the full price. I never ask for a discount. That's what I do. All of my doctors are Black. My nurses are. I can't control that, but I chose all Black doctors. Okay. My last government job was a Black spouse. Okay. That's what I do. I support Black-owned businesses.
Right. Well.
As a matter of fact, when your tattoo artist wasn't in there yesterday, I made an appointment with my nephew's sister to do my tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
And she was trying to give me, she said, come on in, girl, I'll just do it for you. And I said, no, you won't. How much is deposit? And I'll pay the rest however you do your situation. And she said, girl, no, all the stuff you've been through, blah, blah, blah. Well, you still got to feed your baby. How much you want now? How much is it? I don't do that. I do not do that. And I'm not going to get on social media and blast you about how I feel about this situation, because every customer is different. I'm not doing that.
Well, let me offer you this too.
I told you that I really want this nose ring.
Yeah.
I really want the nose ring.
Let me offer you this.
That was one of the first things I said.
Yeah. Let me make you an even better offer. If you honestly believe that I'm responsible for your nose ring falling out the next day when you left my shop.
I will not do it.
No, listen. Let me finish. If you honestly,
I don't do that. I do not give a bad. I do not do that.
I didn't tell you to leave a review. I didn't say leave a review. Listen to what I'm saying. I want you to hear it. If you honestly believe that it was my fault that your nose ring fell out while you were at your home and it was properly secured when you left my shop, if you think it was my fault, I will meet you at any piercing shop you want to meet at, and I will pay for your piercing if they agree with you. How about that? I'll give you a refund. I'll give you a refund and I'll pay for your piercing. If say that again.
What's your name?
My name is
What
Aaron.
is your name?
Aaron.
Aaron.
Yeah.
I don't think that you are 100% at fault for the ring coming out my nose.
Right.
Now, I am at fault as well because, like I said, I asked you in the shop, put what this up in there? If you don't stay in or whatever. Now I do remember that. Asking you that, and so I don't know. I don't know your job like how I do my job. So
Well,
no, you are not 100% responsible for it coming out my nose.
if you think I'm partially responsible for it coming out,
Want the nose ring.
yeah. If you think I'm partially responsible for coming out, I'll refund you your $40 and I will meet you at any piercing shop around here that you want me to meet you at. And if they agree with you, I will pay for your piercing.
You're doing too much.
I'm not doing enough. Apparently I'm not doing enough because you
When I got on the phone with you, I said this thing that came out, I really want this nose ring. And I done said it a million times on the phone. I really, really want the nose ring. I seriously do. And I wanted it before the 12th because I have a big engagement on the 12th.
right.
And so, doing all of this stuff right here is just really unnecessary because I really want the nose ring.
And I honestly don't know what you want me to do besides yeah,
Listen to me then.
yeah.
I want you to say, you know what, Miss Williams, I apologize for the part that you believe that I'm responsible for. And since you still want the nose ring, come on in and let me see if I can put what you just described as a lip ring or whatever up there. Since you want it, this is what you want. This is what you want. And I'm going to give you what you want since it's more manageable for you. That's what I wanted to hear you say.
Okay. And I understand. Then listen to me. Listen to this. When you got on the phone, I offered to put it back in there for free for you. Now, and then I also offered to go ahead and give you a full refund, even though, and let me finish before you interrupt me here, because we've kind of been interrupting each other. I do apologize for interrupting you the times that I did. I should have let you finish, but I felt like we were kind of dragging it out longer than it needed to go. But now I offered to give you a full refund, even though I did not feel responsible for it. I offered to give you a full refund. Then we went into some long spilling cycle about how I am responsible for this and that, and which I'm not. And I also 100% do not apologize for things I'm not truly sorry for. Okay? And I 100% from the bottom of my heart am not sorry for anything that has transpired up until this point. Now, if I had known you were under the influence of drugs, I would not have performed a piercing on you. If you should have shown me any signs of being under the influence, I would not have. You can ask anybody. They've seen me tell people, no, you need to come back when you sober up or whatever. That's not something I do. I work very hard to get this license. And I put a lot of time, effort, and energy into maintaining a clean, safe, and, presentable environment. And that's not my fault if you call outside of my business hours. You know? Yeah, like now, these aren't even my normal business hours. Online it says I don't open until 11:30. Today I didn't plan on being in until 2, which I told you when we first got on the phone that I didn't plan on coming in until about 2 o'clock today because I had some things to do. But yet I have wasted 30 minutes trying to explain to you that I will give you a refund, or I would put it back in there for free. At this point, I'm only offering a refund, and I'm also offering to meet you at another shop and pay for your piercing if they agree with you. based on the, you know, the facts of the situation.
You give me my money back. We won't have any more business to do together.
And I understand that. At this point, that is.
Refund the money. I will go find somebody else to do it who's going to secure it for me because I would tell them that I am sick, just like I told you. And I want to make sure everything is where it is. I don't need any other stuff that I need to keep up with. And that thing was too small. My nose is big.
Yeah.
That thing was going to go inside my nose anyway, just like my eldest son, the little thing went inside his nose before he was able to take it out and put in a bigger ring. But then it did, none of that mattered because none of it worked, just like it didn't work with me. So, sir, you can go ahead and reclaim your day since you wasted 30 minutes. Reclaim the rest of your time and your life. And give me my money back, and you won't have to see or hear from each other again.
Right, and I mean that's fine, and that's reasonable. You know, like I said, I hate to lose a client, but when a client is being 100% unreasonable,
you know. No, you wanted to lose me because I said, well, all you had to do was pay. And then you know what? When you said, well, I don't apologize, I'm not sorry. Well, I would have accepted that as well because it makes sense. But at the end of that, if you want me to put that other ring in, girl, come on over here and I'll put the other ring in there and secure it and see how well that works. Because that's my personality.
no, you want me to do something. You want what you're asking me to do. Yeah, no. What you're asking me to do is to bend over and do something outside of my professional opinion and just to satisfy you. But when it doesn't work out for you, then you're going to be back in my ear harassing me and telling me that it's my fault that I did that. So outside of my professional opinion, yeah, no, it would be just like in this instance, it is, but I am not. He is.
And if I walk out and fall out, that's my fault. That is not the doctor's fault.
Right, and that's 100% true, and that's what I'm telling you. But I'm not going to do it because I know the outcome. You know, I've seen it. I've been doing it since 2012, and I have never had anybody approach me in this way. It's something new every day, so I'm constantly learning. I'm always open to learn something new. Okay. And I have learned throughout the years that is not the appropriate type of ring to put in someone's nose. That's why I do not do it. And I'm not going to do it. But I will offer you. I do not do that. You know what I'm saying? You want to control my business and run it the way you want me to run it. But that's not how this works. You know. And you could. Yes, ma'am. And when I explained, when I showed you that ring, you had the option to get up and walk out and get your money back. And I would have gave it to you 100% without an attitude because that's not what you wanted. Okay? Like, if I don't want something, I don't go and spend my money on it, especially once I'm fully aware of what's going on. So, with you saying that you came in under the influence of drugs and things, in the future, I cannot trust that you won't do that again. You drove yourself over there knowing you were under the influence of drugs. Do you know how many people you put in danger by doing that? And then you want to put my professional reputation on the line because you came in under the influence of drugs and you hid it from me. You just told me you were sick. You didn't tell me I'm high off medication or something. You know, that was very inappropriate, and I don't know what response you expected from me, but I don't operate like that, and I don't treat people that way. I don't do people that way. If somebody has a problem with me, I legitimately address it. And like I told you, I did not mind you coming by, and I will pop it back in for you. But I'm not going to say that it's my fault your ring came out because it's not. It's not my fault. It was secured when you left the shop. It was properly bent to fit your nose and allow you room for swelling. That's how it works. So that's not what we're going to do here. That's not what I'm going to do. You know, now you will be receiving a refund. And if you want me to pull the video up of when you came, I also could pull that and send that to you as well. Everything was done according to procedure. So at this point, the only thing I could say is, I'm sorry you had such a hard time, and hopefully in the future you find somebody that can meet your needs.